The new Starfield DLC is looking very underwhelming. Hit the like button. Ubisoft is doing something very unconventional, very sneaky, I might add, and I just have to say something about it. This is what they're doing in an effort to combat piracy. They are releasing games so that nobody's gonna want to pirate them. Now, I've dreamt of an open world Star Wars game for years, but now I regret even thinking that. Because Star Wars Outlaws is out, and the MAM solo protagonist looks like John Rambo, walks like Brock Lesnar as if he had a sword up his and runs like the most eccentric, fruity person you've ever seen. Yeah, I know that's quite the combo, but the thing is, this character looks like 100 different people at once. And that's quite the achievement. I mean, if the main character is gonna be a chick and she looks more like Conan the Barbarian than Lara Croft, then I'm out. I mean, at least give us a skill tree where you can upgrade her looks. And now that I think about it, she kind of looks like the main character in Dark Crystal. I forgot her name, but I'll put a picture up on the screen. Anyway, listen, joking aside, what's crazy is that the actress who plays the main character is actually quite attractive in real life, but Ubisoft, for some reason, made her look like Eddie Van Halen. Wait, I know what the reason is. See, you gotta love how Western game developers try and appease the concerns of the modern game audience they're trying to cater to. Imagine having a point of reference with an actress who's attractive and then seeming to work towards making her uglier. You couple that with the alien-like expressions that seem super strange and uncanny. Some of this stuff is super jarring, possibly some of the worst I've seen in a long time. You couple that with the brain-dead dialogue, and boom, you've got an instant Ubisoft classic. To think there's someone out there who's probably making 6 figures a year that literally said, you know what, that's perfect, the animations are a-okay. Let's greenlight that right now. That is just mind-boggling. Somebody was paid to greenlight this absolute trash. Now, we know how all Ubisoft games go. A character tells you, I need you to get this thing on the other side of the map. And you're like, oh, okay, I'll get the thing that you want. And then you come back and then you're like, wait a second, there's a problem with this thing that you want. And the other character tells you, go and fix the problem somewhere else and come back when the problem is fixed. That is quite literally the amazing gameplay of Ubisoft. Now, here's all of the problems with Star Wars Outlaws. The AI is complete shit. Utter blatantly dumb NPCs. What they do on speeders is just pure comedy. How on earth do you look at that and say, oh, we're gonna sell that for $100 anyway? The only outlaw thing you can do is aggro a stormtrooper until he arrests you. Whoop-de do. I've done more naughtier things in my bedroom. You can't even kill any NPCs aside from the ones in the quest line. And that leads me into this next point. There's no character development. We don't even know what she even wants to do, the protagonist, what her motives are. And by the way, none of your decisions actually affect anything in the game world. It's quite annoying. I mean, who the f wants to invest in a video game that doesn't react to you whatsoever? I mean, you might as well read a book or watch an animated movie, because you have as much impact in that than you do in Star Wars Outlaws. Oh, and did I forget to mention that you can't be a fucking outlaw? I think I did, but anyway, bottom line, this game was made by people who didn't give a f, and I don't get why it's so hard to make a Star Wars game where we can make our own characters. An entire galaxy with an unlimited timeline, and we keep getting the same stories. Let's take a Han Solo backstory and make the character a girl boss and then put it in the most generic video game we can make. All I saw was a gender-swapped Han Solo all the way down to having a loyal, non-human companion. And then have the unmitigated gall to ask for $130 for a story about MAM Solo fighting unrealistically while making fun of awful men all across the galaxy. Basically a Disney Plus show where you get to defeat the space patriarchy. How about no, thank you, swallow a lightsaber. And I remember the day when special editions of games that cost over $100 actually included real goods inside the package. Remember all the little statues and all the little goodies that came with games like Assassin's Creed? Fast forward to today and it's the opposite. You're paying for a more worse product, because they always market it like, oh, you get 3 days early. 3 days early access nowadays is a punishment. You get the worst version of the game for paying paying extra. Bravo. Oh, hold on a second. You do get a different kind of hairstyle. Look, every single AAA launch is full of broken bugs. So it's the funniest thing to say, oh hey, you know all the launches seem to be turning into a disaster? Let's charge people more so they can be a part of that. That is a odd value proposition. Now Ubisoft, for some reason, thinks that their games are worth $18 a month, which is laughable because most of their games aren't even worth $18 to own. And on that bombshell, Manic's out.